I'm Kate. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we have an abundance of asparagus, so we're going to learn how to pickle. The pickling that we're going to be doing is called cold pickling. So we are going to be putting a brine on the vegetables and then it'll be put in the refrigerator. You can go to the next step if you choose and actually can them so they can go in the cabinet. But otherwise, this makes a very crisp pickle for just about any vegetable that you choose. And it's very easy. So if you have extras, put them in pickles. So you see we have the asparagus and I've cut it to size, which is really important. I'm using a wide mouth canning jar and I've cut the asparagus so that it's exactly the right size to go in so that the tops come just to the top of the jar. So that's probably the most tedious part of this. I like to lay the jar on its side so that I can slide the asparagus or the green beans or whatever it is that we're going to be canning. They fit right into the jar. And then we're going to be putting on a brine that is made of water and white vinegar, very simple, and canning salt and a little bit of sugar. This is my standard brine that I go to for just about any type of pickle. You can change it if you want a sweeter pickle. You can certainly add more salt. You can also add agave syrup. You can add honey, but you have to be careful with honey because it may discolor your vegetables a bit. But plain old table sugar works just fine. I have not done any canning with stevia or any of the sweeteners, so I'm not sure exactly how they would react, but it's certainly worth the experiment. Okay, so I had a lovely jar full of asparagus, and what I like to have in my asparagus, I like to give it a little punch, so I'm going to use a dried chili. You can use fresh chilies, you can use sweet peppers. I'm going to use a clove of garlic, and I like to crush the garlic so that it gives off a little bit more flavor. It's not as pretty, but it certainly gives some nice flavor. And then for these, we're going to use some mustard seed. This is mixed black and yellow mustard seed. I'm going to use about half a teaspoon. Just sprinkle it in there. And then I'm going to use about half a teaspoon of dill seed. Give it a little bit of dill flavor as well. You can add anything you want, any type of seasonings, any type of herbs, spices, and to give it the flavor that you want. So we've got chili, garlic, mustard seed, and dill. And I have my brine. I heated it to boiling so that it would dissolve the salt. And I'm going to pour it into a measuring cup to make it easier to pour into my jar. And then I'm going to simply pour the hot brine over the pickles to be, up to the top. And since we're not going to be canning this, the brine can come all the way to the top. You don't need to leave any headspace as you would if you're going to be canning it. I'm using a plastic lid, which works just fine. And there you have it. We have some lovely pickled asparagus. Now it goes into the refrigerator and should stay there for 2 weeks in order to let the flavors meld and fuse, and when they come out they should be nice and crisp and absolutely lovely. You can see I've done some other pickling here. I've pickled mushrooms with chilies. I've also pickled Brussels sprouts with sweet peppers and also chilies. I like chilies and everything, obviously. And this is cauliflower, also pickled. You can pickle cabbage, you can pickle onions, you can pickle standard cucumbers, and a refrigerator cucumber pickle that has not been processed is totally different than a pickle that has gone through a boiling water bath because it stays very, very crisp and usually pretty bright green. So don't be afraid to experiment, play with it. Make sure that you leave them in the refrigerator for 2 weeks to let the flavors combine. And bring them out, enjoy them with just about anything on a charcuterie board. You can use them as a side to a sandwich. You can use them as a main course, up to you.